Welcome back to Trucking and Politics. My wife sent me this article this morning, and man, the bad news just keeps rolling in. I don't know how much more of this we can handle. Trucking will be affected by this. Local workers will be affected by this. There is a town near where I live, and the town's name is Paragould, Arkansas. It's a small town, about 35,000 people, and there is a manufacturing plant there called Tenneco. Tenneco and this other company called DRIV is the parent companies of Monroe Shocks and Struts. That plant has been in Paragould for 50 years, and they announced today that it was closing down. Paragould, Arkansas will become a ghost town. 1,100 people out of work just at the factory. That's just at that factory. 1,100 people will be out of work. And that's not even including all of the logistics and truck drivers that are dependent on this factory for loads and payments and everything. I brought up a couple of articles here. Apparently, there is another plant in Sevierville. I'm assuming that's Tennessee. I didn't Google it that much, but it says Tenneco set to close Sevierville plant in 2025. About 250 local families will be impacted as the Tenneco plant in Sevierville is set to close its doors next year. This was written in September 2024. So 2025 is now upon us. And local officials say they have been told the plant is moving those jobs out of the country. I wonder if that has anything to do with Trump coming into office. Probably. Hurry up, shut it down, move it out of the country while we still can. There is another article here that I brought up about the plant closing in my area, Northeast Arkansas. Plant manufacturer of 50 years announces closure. Paragould, Arkansas, a long-standing factory, announced to its employees it will cease operations soon. Tenneco announced to workers that it would close the Paragould plant at a meeting on Tuesday, January 14th at the Greene County Fairgrounds. Greene County is the county that Paragould, Arkansas is in. The company has made the difficult decision to close our manufacturing operations in Paragould, Arkansas. The company needs to realign its manufacturing footprint in response to changing market conditions, adjusting the size of our operations to match the current market demand, as well as what is anticipated in the future. It is necessary to strengthen our long-term sustainability. Our priority with the Economic Development Group will be make sure that the employees have all the resources they need as soon as possible, and to make sure we are connecting with them with the jobs that are available in the Greene County area. The future of the facility remains unknown. In the long term, we hopefully will bring a new industry in the building to fill any gaps that could be created by this decision. Wow. The first phase of layoffs is scheduled to occur around March 30th, with the second phase around April 15th, and the third phase of layoffs around April 30th. Those days are subject to change within 14 days following the above dates. So you know what that means. They are going to be on a fast track of layoffs as quickly as they can possibly get the employees out of there, stop the payroll, and shut that plant down. According to the Paragould Regional Chamber of Commerce, the plant is part of DRIV Motor Parts Aftermarket Division, producing shocks, struts, and modular strut assemblies. The plant opened in 1970, and in 2022, according to the Chamber of Commerce, the plant had over 1,100 employees. 1970 was the year I was born. And that is in the area that I live in. Wow. There's another article that I brought up here. Tenneco is the parent company of Monroe Shock Absorbers. Tenneco is an American automotive components manufacturer that also supplies aftermarket ride control and emissions products. Tenneco purchased Monroe in 1977. In 2018, Tenneco acquired Federal Mogul, an auto parts company, which added Monroe to its portfolio of brands. In 2019, Tenneco separated into two companies, Tenneco Incorporated and DRIV Incorporated. DRIV Incorporated includes the Monroe brand. Monroe was founded in 1916 by August F. Mayer in Monroe, Michigan. The company started by making tire pumps for early automobiles. Not bicycle, but tire pumps for early automobiles. I'm not too far from Monroe, Michigan right now. I'm up here in Michigan, delivering in the morning. How weird is that we get that news here? I was also talking to a friend of mine earlier today. I hadn't heard from him in a long time. I called him to see what was going on with him. He does power only. I have mentioned him on this channel before. And he has not worked in 13 weeks. He said trailer movements, since he does power only, they do a lot of trailer movements from manufacturers and used trailer sales places all across the country. He said no one's buying anything. The people that have ordered the new trailers don't want them, because as soon as they get in possession of them, they have to start paying on them, and they don't want to pay for them. The used trailer market is almost depleted. He said there's no used trailers being moved around that much. So he's been out of work for 13 weeks. He called me, or I called him, and during our conversation, he asked would I call my work, where I work here, and ask if they had a truck available for him. He's an owner-operator, and he's wanting to park his truck and go back to company driving. He has been with his current employer for about 15 years. the same employer for 15 years, they're basically shut down, doing nothing. And I called my work and they said, we have nothing. We have no trucks. We're doing everything we can to stay afloat. We're running you as much as we possibly can, but there's no capacity really for us to add more trucks and get more drivers in. We're just holding on to what we've got until something better comes along. What worries me is this downtrend is going to keep going. Now, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of owner-operators on YouTube that want to paint a very glamorous picture. You know, I've said it before, they hold their notebook up. You know, supposedly they've got all of their runs and all of their money on this notebook, and, you know, they're just clamoring about how much money they have made this week, grinning from ear to ear. And I've done so great. I've made $10,000 this week. It's just lies on top of lies on top of lies. I don't know why these people want to get on YouTube and spread all this falsehood and lies like this. We are basically almost to the point of being in a Great Depression. The United States is strapped. We are going down like an airplane on fire. And people want to come on YouTube, these owner-operators. I mean, they really just make me ill. The way they come on here and want to self-glorify themselves of how much money they make and promote to other people about how much they make. And it's just lies. I mean, that's all it is, just lies. If you're making that much money, more power to you. More power to you, but I've known 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 owner-operators in the last year and a half that is either company driving now or has gotten out of trucking altogether. This is a horrible situation that we are in. A horrible situation. And now this is hitting really close to my home. And trucking's going to go down even more in Northeast Arkansas, around my area. Not to mention all of the people, there are 1,100 employees trying to find a job in a town that has 35,000 people. It's going to turn that town into a ghost town. And how people can get on YouTube and glorify themselves of how much money they're making. It's sickening. To me, it's just absolutely sickening. I can't get it. But people go to their channel and they watch it. And they're just, oh, well, we're so glad for you. You've made so much money. You're doing so good. And it's just lies. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I feel compassion for these people. All of my friends that are no longer owner-operators, the one today that's not going to be an owner-operator, unless things change drastically immediately for him, he's not going to be an owner-operator anymore. All of these people is losing their jobs, and they're all moving overseas. And we keep importing cheap Chinese crap into this country. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then the trucking industry is just bursting at the seams with illegals and immigrants running for 25-30 cents a mile. 80 miles an hour. I saw one today going across the parking lot. I was pulling into a stall. The whole parking lot was full of snow and ice. I was going slow, pulling into a parking spot so I wouldn't hit the truck next to me. He come flying up, almost rammed into the side of my truck, blowing the air horn and flashing his lights for me to get out of his way. He's lucky that I have a calm temper, because the thought went through my head really quick to get out and cause some severe bodily harm to him. But I kept my cool, kept my head up. I just pulled into the spot, and here he come flying around the parking lot doing like 30 miles an hour trying to get out of there. He had to hurry up, hit that road 80 miles an hour so he can make his 25 cents a mile. And our government is allowing this to happen. I pray Trump saves this country. I pray that he saves this country, because we are on a fast track to destruction. He needs to get in on day one and start rectifying this situation. Mass deportation, shut the border down, shut all these companies down that are wanting to move their plants overseas to save themselves money. There's not hardly any American-owned manufacturing facilities in America anymore. They're all owned by foreign countries. Germany owns so much of the manufacturing in the United States. Other countries own so much of it, and it has got detrimental consequences. The United States is for sale. Donald Trump needs to pull the for sale sign up and say, today it's stopped. It's not for sale anymore. It's time that we start reeling it back in. But folks, it's not going to be like turning the key on your truck and starting it. It's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and all of a sudden we've got this blossoming, robust economy. It's going to take a while to get that ball rolling. Trump has got an overwhelming burden on his shoulders if he can do anything about it. Hopefully he can. We need to save America. We need to save the United States. We need to save what's left of our manufacturing jobs. I know for me, after this deal with Monroe Shocks, I will never buy another Monroe Shock ever again. Another Tenneco product ever again. I will never do it. I'll find some other brand to put on my vehicle if I need shocks. It won't be a Monroe product, that's for sure. These corporations are just absorbing money so fast in any way they can and shipping their manufacturing facilities overseas and then trying to bring the products back here for us to buy. With what money? They've taken all of our jobs. What do they expect us to buy, to pay for their product with? Monopoly money? When you create a vacuum, there's nothing there. What are these people thinking? I know what they're thinking. They're thinking about themselves and their money, and that's it. And that's where the thought process ends. Anyway, enough of my rant. Pray for the people in Paragould, Arkansas. That's all I can think of. Just pray for those people. They're going to need all they can get. That's all I've got for now. You guys take care of yourself. Look out for each other. Be good to yourself. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.